Well, thank you everybody for dialing in and welcome to our presentation today. My name is Jennifer Phillips. I manage our National Deployment Program here at PSA, and I'm very excited to introduce our all-new Seneca NDP Gold Partner Program. This program is an exclusive membership benefit to National Deployment Program members. If you're not familiar with Seneca, they are a premier vendor partner of PSA's. They've also stepped up to sponsor our NDP program, and they continually have sponsored tech as well as conventions. We're very pleased to have them join us today. From Seneca, we have Ron Van Tassel. Ron handles market development, intelligent systems, and Ron is also joined by Dan Hodkinson, business development manager. So they'll go over a little bit more about Seneca, introduce you to the company as well as their product offerings, and we'll go into the program from there. So Ron, I'm going to go ahead and turn this over to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Jennifer. I appreciate the introduction. I want to first and foremost thank everybody for coming on the call today. We always know we're busy, and the webinars that we try to do like this, while they have great intentions, I know that sometimes they can be distractions. So we absolutely appreciate everybody who was able to attend today. I'm going to really go through quickly just a little bit about why Seneca, a little bit of what we do, and then get into the program. To start with that, one of the first things we're really trying to make sure we message to everybody is the affiliation, really, as Arrow goes, and Seneca is a business unit of Arrow. So we want to let everybody know, and if you haven't heard it already, we were acquired 2.5 years ago, so it's been a while. We are Arrow. We're part of Arrow Intelligent Systems as a business unit, and Seneca is really represented as a brand. So what does this really mean? It really means that you still get all the benefits of Seneca as a company, as what we were, as we are still intact as a business unit. And we have all the nimbleness, scale, flexibility, speed to market, all the type of things that you would normally come to expect from Seneca. But backed by, a Fortune 120, I think, 120, 130 company. So Arrow Intelligent Systems is a $1.5 billion division that's part of a parent company, Arrow Electronics, that's a $24 billion company. So you get the backing of a company that isn't going away, and I think that's actually a huge asset in the security market specifically. The big question that usually comes up with people, though, just so people understand, is, well, why do we do this, and why would you want to select or pick Seneca? Our goal and our objective at Seneca is to provide an outstanding customer experience for all of our integrators that are purchasing from us. And the way we do that is through these 5 core functions, these 5 main areas. First and foremost, we really try to make sure that we can help our integrators save time and money through system configurations with our out-of-box experience. And what happens within that is that we actually build the product. It's automatically already set up. We set up the operating system. We set up the RAID array. We fully burn in the RAID array. It's completely initialized. All the settings are already implemented on the OS, on the network card, the RAID controller, and all that. Okay, and we do that in order for the customer to make sure that it's ready for a video surveillance integration, and it's ready for all that camera configuration to be done. That happens on a server of ours in under an hour. Usually it's anywhere from 30 to 45 minutes from the time you boot up a server, plug it in, and it's ready to be configured for a VMS and camera configurations. That saves probably anywhere from, I'd say, 2 to 6 hours of time for an integrator. And it's ready operational for video surveillance. What we mean by actually having a specialized product is that those settings we talked about in the out-of-box experience is there in order to optimize the system for video. And really, that's exactly what we want to do. When we build in the product, it's specialized for video surveillance or access control. It's optimized, it's certified, and it's guaranteed to be functional to provide the performance necessary to run a video surveillance system. The X-Connect monitoring utility is exactly that. Right? It's a system monitor utility that we utilize to provide relevant information for system operation. It can provide alerts to the integrator or the end user with a simple user interface. The other thing is that we look at the ecosystem partnerships that we have. And those go from everything, including our VMS partners, our camera partners, networking partners, and our component partners. That includes people like Milestone, Genetec, Ericon, Axis. On the networking side, we look at Allied Telesis and different switch manufacturers, Device Authority as a component that we use for cybersecurity. And that component side, we're certainly very in tune with what Microsoft, Intel, Seagate, and all the component manufacturers that we utilize in our builds. How do they play a role, and what is the significance of the role they play in how we design our systems? So we better understand the impact of that and how those systems and how those ecosystem partners impact the hardware. So we make sure we're really tailoring the needs of those partners to the platforms that we build and provide. And the last one is really what we do in the pre- and post-sale support. Our pre-sales support and our post-sale support is all USA based, right? So we have trained technicians that provide appliance-based support, and they actually have a very strategic understanding of the hardware and the software applications that are being run. And from a pre-sales perspective, it's our job with the account managers we have, the business development managers we have, in order to provide design recommendations, hardware recommendations, and right size you into the systems that we build for the applications you're applying it to. So that's really why Seneca. Let's move on to give you an idea of the product overview. And this is what we do. Seneca is basically building computing technology for the security market. And we focus on two areas of the security market: video surveillance and access control. And in those markets, we're building servers, storage, clients, viewing clients. We can do video wall controllers and other aspects of hardware applications that you'll need in order to pull together the systems you need with the software you're applying. Really, we do that in a number of different ways. Like I said, we build servers. We have Seneca products. We also have representation as an authorized Dell OEM. So we have some new products we just came out with in March and April. We have seen at ISC, and we're going to share more of that even next week at PSA Tech. But what we represent in that is the ability to have Seneca products as well as some of the Dell OEM products that we offer in order to provide, a much higher level of a better customer experience. And really what we try to do is we try to combine the experience that we get out of our ecosystem partners like Microsoft, Dell, Intel, Seagate, and we combine that with the Seneca experience that I just mentioned in terms of why we do what we do and what we build, and providing an ultimate customer experience for the security market. The other tool we have on here really can be helpful is our product selector tool. And that is actually a way for you to go in, put in your camera information, your VMS that you're using, and it will provide you with the product recommendations that we give based on the performance requirements and the storage needs. So I'd strongly urge anybody to go out there and use that product selector tool. Okay, so let's get into the guts of the program. Seneca really strategically reached out to PSA and decided that one of the key areas that we could be very strategic with the program was the national deployment members and have them be part of our gold partner program and give them all the benefits that we can provide. And we look at different things that we can do, and we'll kind of dig down into some of the details of that. What we want to have happen out of this is we want the members and the NDP, we want to recognize those partners who proactively sell and promote and support Seneca's servers and storage products. We like to see that they lead with the Seneca solution in all their potential projects, and we try to help to give you guys an idea of the understanding of what the Seneca solutions are. And ultimately, we look at the requirements of the program to be dealers have specific industry certifications. They're able to go through Seneca training as it's offered. You guys have the ability to demonstrate level 1 service to your end users if you need to or want to, and a proven ability to meet minimum purchase requirements. All right, so a little more details around what do you guys get out of the program. So we provide additional discounts in advance running through PSA, which PSA then turns around and provides you guys with an additional 3% off of what it would typically be the standard pricing. So the discount's taken at time of order, it's done all in advance, and there's no waiting for the rebate. On top of that, we have a reward point program that Seneca accumulates and accrues for, so that we associate one reward dollar for every MSRP dollar of purchases you make directly through PSA. And Seneca tracks that, and we track that through the POS report we get from PSA. So you can use those reward points for a number of different things, but allows you guys to use that for further discounts on future orders, trainings that may come up, marketing support, demo equipment. You name it, NFR unit. There's also the advantages of project registration incentives. So we have a project registration site, and we encourage customers that are looking at additional incentives or additional opportunities that they can register projects, that we can actually provide incentives around those projects that you're leading us into and that you're kind of driving to those end users. And then there can be product warranties that are they're optional, but that we can offer product warranties. Customers in this program, integrators in this program, can actually even be set up to support their own customers from our warranties perspectives, so that you don't actually have third parties going out and supporting those warranties. Integrators that are in this program can actually be the service provider of record on the Seneca servers that you're selling for those customers and those end users. So a little more detail on that. So I probably went over this a little more repetitive maybe, but the additional 3% discount, it is only valid through PSA orders, and it's only valid for those NDP members. The discount is provided through PSA at the time of order, and all of the NDP members of the program are already receiving those discounted prices today through PSA. The program reward point system is there's one reward point accumulated for every MSRP dollar associated with the purchases you make through PSA security. We accrue it annually, and it actually tracks and it rolls annually. So we look at accruing it annually, and we look at making sure that the integrator is going to spend it and utilize it annually, or it goes away. It is tracked by us, and then we can provide a variety of redemption options, and we can talk about those. I probably mentioned it a little bit earlier, but those redemption options, they can be used for discounts on future orders or future invoices. They can be used for demo equipment. If you guys want to order a demo system and you want to use reward points that you've accumulated for a demo unit, you can use it for NFR units. And we even can look at using some of those reward points potentially for some of even marketing opportunities that maybe you're using that you want to kind of leverage Seneca and reference Seneca on. So there's some ways that we can kind of utilize that for your events that you may have. So how do you get started? You guys have all been probably involved in seeing the announcements that's gone out. There are going to be welcome packets that are going to go out that will show you everything that you need to know, provide you all the program details. There'll be a membership certificate, Seneca contacts, which will help you to understand who you can contact in your territory for account managers or BDMs that can give you help with system design, that pre-sale support we mentioned. And there's a website that PSA's developed that actually gives you the ability to go in and complete a profile, which then gives us more information on, a little more information on, who you are, who you might like to represent from a VMS perspective, who some of your lead VMS partners are, who some of your camera lead partners are. It helps us get a little better understanding of what your business is and how we can kind of help you along with that business from a Seneca perspective.
Right, and Ron, just to throw something in there real quick, NDP members, when he's talking about a profile that you complete, this is just a form. It's not linked to your NDP account by any means, but this is important because it allows Seneca to know who to work with as far as your reward points are concerned. So we really do need to have a point of contact, especially for those companies that may have multiple locations, and we may be managing that internally here at PSA. Just like with our National Deployment Program, I know specifically who in your company to work with. Seneca needs to know that information as well from a point tracking perspective. So if you could, please go on and visit that website. I'll be sending all of you your welcome packets, and I'll include a link in that as well. But we really do need that information. But again, if you guys are already receiving the immediate 3% discount is already part of your PSA pricing with us as a National Deployment Program member.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah, and we are already tracking and accumulating points off of this program for you guys based on your purchases. We just want to be able to make sure that we can update you with that information and let you know, what you may have in there and how you may be able to utilize that for your future discount. We have contact information. So following up with that, Dan Hawkinson is Strategic Business Development, and he's a good contact to reach out to if you have questions either with the program or who you should be in touch with at Seneca to kind of help along with any of your pre-sale support. And I'm Ron Van Tassel, so I would also be able to help in the same way with any of the questions you guys might have within that. We even have a little bit of time. Jen, if I missed anything, we can talk about that, or if there's questions.
I think you covered most everything. The only thing I would reiterate is, again, that for NDP members, this is an automatic benefit to you. In the past, some of our other vendor sponsors may have required project registrations. None of that is required. Seneca is really stepping up to provide this as strictly a benefit of your NDP membership. And just to emphasize the value of this partner program that they typically would offer to their customers, would have to spend $1 million annually to get these benefits. So it is a huge advantage for you guys just being an NDP member to get that discount, as well as these other offerings, including the reward points. So we're very excited and thankful to Seneca for this opportunity. But we do want to open this up. We've got Ron and Dan on the call, so if you guys have questions, I know some of you had emailed me during the week. Now would be the perfect time to get those addressed. Ron, one of the questions I did receive earlier was specifically in relation to the points tracking. So let's say that I do have a couple different branches. What would be the best way for us to track that, and who would they go to in order to get an update on their current point totals?
Yeah, so the companies that are coming into the program that have either multiple locations or multiple branches, I would have them reach out to Dan or myself, or they're going to get a territory map, which will either represent, show them who their account manager would be based on their geography or their BDM. Reaching out to us, the benefit of that is the customer may want to have those reward points accumulated in a specific way, specifically for that customer. And I have customers that accumulate those points and use them corporately, or they'll accumulate those points and use them and let them accrue by the branch locations. We're open to either way. A lot of times it helps us understand what their preferences are, and then we can understand who to contact and who is the contact for that, and how we would update that customer with that information. If it's going to be one contact and the points are going to be accumulated at a corporate level for use as they want to see, then that's how we would communicate that back to that customer. If it's going to be at the branch level, then we would end up looking for contacts at the branch level, and we would provide them back the details around those points accrual by the branch location that have placed those orders.
As far as the project registration incentives, as I know this sometimes can be confusing for folks, Ron, you mentioned earlier that there are additional project registration incentives. So just to be clear, they are getting the additional 3% discount off PSA standard pricing now, but if they were to have a particular project that maybe meets a certain qualification, if they were to register that with Seneca, does that then offer an additional discount on top of the 3%?
Yeah, so the project registration process is exactly that. It is for integrators to register projects that they are driving and leading on, representing Seneca products. And there's the typical competitive pressures or different nuances that are happening within that project that are constraining in price or in programs, which we would then look at those additional opportunities and then represent those with potentially additional discounts. Absolutely.
Perfect. Unless we have any other questions, we'll go ahead and wrap this up for folks. Ron and Dan, thank you so much for your time today. We will direct any questions that may come through over to you guys. And just as a reminder, NDP members, please go on and fill out that form so we know who to start tracking those points for at your company. And that's pretty much all I had on my end. Ron, anything else that you would like to address?
No, I think the only thing I would close with, I guess, is just to say that the NDP program has been put together by PSA to help you guys collectively compete in the market, especially geographically. And we believe aggregating you guys together in a program like this is exactly in line with that program that you guys have. So you guys have the ability to use Seneca's products and compete, geographically in the market with our products and be loyal advocates of what we offer. We're extremely pleased and proud to be a part of the program for you guys.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time today.